TrueHouse with me, Justin House. This is episode 432. Make sure I'm actually live on Instagram as well. That's new. Hold on. What is this? What is this? Looks like a new setting. The elusive Instagram. Hang on. Camera. Oh, it must be a new setting. Okay. I think that's okay. Okay, yeah, that's apparently live. All right, good evening. So I'm Justin House. Welcome to TrueHouse 432. Today's date is I don't know. I don't know what today's date is. Hello, brother. How are you? Waving to you, sir. It is the Tuesday. Is it Wednesday? Is it Tuesday? It is concerning, isn't it? I've got to look at my iPad to know what even the date is. Tuesday 26th is the date today. You'd think I'd be on the ball with my dates, wouldn't you? Bearing in mind it's well, including tonight, it's 2 sleeps for a geek like me. 2 sleeps from Pixel 6 Pro. Anyway, I'm not going to waffle on about the Pixel tonight because I did that last 2 nights. Welcome. Hope you're all okay. Hope you're well. Hope your week is going so far so good. All right, we're 432 tonight, so just looking off screen here, looking at my iPad. I'm having a bit of a love affair with my iPad Pro because I'm starting to look at it as what it is, and I'm very much in that first 10% club. I mean, an experienced user would laugh at my so-called 10%, but I'm writing on it. I'm using it as a machine, as a computer, as a keyboard, as a thing. And it's hopefully going to be a gateway for me to get into, as I was discussing with you, brother, some sort of doorway into me getting over my inherent fear of computers. We had a Mr. Allen, Mr. PJ Allen, and he actually drove a white MG midget. We're talking 1986. Because I was 14 and they had Commodore 64s. All the rage at the time were Spectrum, the ZX81 Spectrum, ZX81 computers. You had Clive Sinclair of the C5 invention, we're talking Back to the Future, Rocky films. 86, yeah, I was 14, and the Commodore 64, we're talking floppy disks and all that, and just my brother was into it. We had a Commodore 64 home computer, and that's what was installed in the computer room at school. And I, number one, was frightened of hippie Alan. Yeah, that's the guy, right? That's the guy. And he was essentially a ginger bloke, wasn't he? Strawberry blonde ginger, and he actually had quite bad pitted skin. He'd obviously had been an acne sufferer in his youth, and he wore those corduroy, well, sort of this colour, like, or darker, like the corduroy ribbed, well, corduroy is ribbed with elbow patches on, a real typical. Think of you're absolutely right. He was. And that computer room, which was in that other part of Homefield near the opposite or adjacent to the woodwork or the metal shop, or was it PJ Allen? It was PJ Allen, Philip J. Allen, right? That was the name. Brown suit. That's the guy. That's the guy. And he had a moustache and he had that hair. And I'm sure he had a white midget or a white TR7 or a white Spitfire, some sort of little car like that. I'm sure of it. But I remember being intimidated by computers, and all he kept saying in that, you remember how each computer had its own little thing, didn't it? Its own little. I'm talking to a chap here who I went to school with, which is brilliant. Chemistry was near. That's it. Okay, I didn't know chemistry was near. I remember doing in that lower half. Well, it wasn't a playground, was it? It was like a concrete area, and I remember doing being shown how to plane, doing woodwork and actually quite enjoying it. Because metalwork, yeah, metalwork was near. It was Sutton, wasn't it? It was no, Mrs. Sutton, because they were banging, wasn't they? They were smell like an engineer house. You can smell. Yeah, that was the metalwork bit near the tuck shop. That end of the school, wasn't it? And the bottom end of the school was where the computer, you know, classroom prefab unit, wasn't it? They're all prefab huts. Weird, man. Weird. Homefield. What a school. Yeah, what a crazy shit school. And I just remember him saying, right, Mr. Clark, that's it, Mr. Clark. And he had that, you know, and he had that white slick back hair, Mr. Clark, that's it, with his blue engineer's suit on. And I think he was banging Sutton, wasn't he? He was, because there was Mr. Hempstead, that was environmental studies near the pond. I liked him. He was always very nice to me. And Mrs. Stevens, the English language, and Mrs. Vincent, the art teacher, the three teachers that actually tolerated me. That isn't it weird what you remember? We're talking. Well, we all left in '88, didn't we? First year of GCSEs. So if we all left in '88, and I'm now, well, I'm 49 now. I'm 50 in January. So goodness me. Yes, 33 years ago, right? Crazy, crazy. I just remember the Mrs. Vincent, the art teacher, Hempstead ES, Environmental Studies, and Mrs. Stevens, who was a bit like a J.K. Rowling, wasn't she? If you think back, she was a bit of a J. She was a bit of a. She reminded me of Carrie's mum out of the film Carrie. Vincent Trevor. Oh, that's it. She Trevor Morris. My God, you're right. You're of course you're right. She bloody did, didn't she, Mrs. Vin? And again, she was always. She let me drink a 4-pack of Stella in the lesson, and she knew it. It was because in my final year, Tony Partridge, the head, pulled my father in, well, and mother, and said, "We have a solution for Justin," because I was being disruptive, and the solution for my upper fifth, it was lower fourth, upper fourth, lower fifth, upper fifth, the 4 years. And I remember that final year from 15 to 16. I don't know if you remember this. It was politely and firmly suggested that because I was, and again, this is the sort of polite version of what was told to my parents. We feel Justin's, he's really growing out of school. In other words, they just didn't want me there, and I was just being a dick, and I was getting in trouble, and I was disruptive and rebellious, and I was just a tosser. I was trying to be all like edgy and rebellious, and like walking around listening to Bruce Springsteen because I'm born in the USA, tosser, or Beastie Boys, or just that. You have these grand ideas, don't you? When you're 15, you think you're the bollocks. And I was always getting caned. I was always getting in trouble. And yeah, he Tony Partridge called in Dad because my dad was on the board of governors. Don't you know? And that's because he fought them because they were misappropriation of funds and nepotism. They were a bad. This. They were a bad bunch. Got no qualms about speaking about this. It was nepotism because they were hiring. Like Tony Partridge was hiring Ian Partridge, or they'd literally hire each other, weren't they? Or they were unqualified, like Eric Wilkinson, no qualifications, nothing. They were just like you and me hiring each other. It's like, I'd say, yeah, come and work for me, Joe. You say, yeah, come and work for me. Just, with no experience, no qualification, no actual attributes. And also misappropriation of school funds. John Baker. I'm not sure. Remember Mr. Waterman, Mr. Miles, the sports guys? Granny Smith with the hunchback. She must have died soon thereafter. She was literally deformed, bless her. J.V. Davis, fucking spraying like Jaws. Shocking bloke. Because they all caned me, all those three. In fact, I even received it from Tony as well. Tone. And there was a school argument between who it's like, boy, it's like sixth the best. Who caned your ass harder? J.V. Davis or Eric Wilkinson? Who practiced? So dodgy when you think about it. Granny B, yeah, exactly. When you think about it, brother, it's like it's so dodgy. It's so dodgy what they did to us all. None of us, But oh my God, Bullen! Shit, Mr. Bullen. What did he teach? Bullen. Oh my God, that's a name. Bullen. God. Um, how high could run up the redwood tree? Of course, yes, the redwood tree. Yeah, we did, didn't we? We used to scramble up that, and I was into throwing stars, shurikens. I thought I was a ninja. It's fucking hilarious, man. But shit, what was I going to say? How hilarious. Oh gosh. I'm trying to think now, because there was corruption. There was, they weren't a good. Oh, that was it. That's what I was going to say. It was because one of the silliest things I did in my final term, just in under the influence of the Beastie Boys, I acquired me and my flathead screwdriver, 58. Quite proud of this, really. 58. You know what I'm going to say, right? What was anyone around at this era, any fellow Gen Xers will know this. Between 80, yeah, 85 and 90, License to Ill, but Beastie Boys, Public Enemy, but Beastie Boys, their emblem was a Volkswagen badge. Now, which of course we all went out and did. We all went out and prized a few. You go to a multi-story car park, or go into your neighbour's cul-de-sac and try not to get caught. I, in my infinite wisdom / stupidity, being the attention-seeking, I want validation, I want to be cool, I want to be in with the edgy kids, and I never was. My attempt to be, that guy, was to get 58 of these badges, and I went as far on my skateboard as far afield as Poole Town Centre and the Bic, posh parts of Talbot Woods, etc., etc., etc. Just nicking, and of course I took it as far as Mercs, BMs, and I failed at the Rolls Royce Silver Lady. You'd have to be quick with a hacksaw, because they would either lock in, rotate on the ball and socket, or sink down. They were very hard to steal. It's really criminal what I was doing. Long story short, we all had Puma bags, didn't we, with the Puma swoosh thing. I had 58 badges in my bag, and like the dickhead I was, brought it in on the 86 school bus, showing off my loot. Like, look, I cool. I've stolen, and it was Volkswagen, Merc, BM, Volkswagen, Audi. Just it was a litany of badges, and there was a prefect who immediately dobbed me in. So I got caned for that straight away. What I did manage to do, Eric's saying you'll be wearing dustbin lids next, blue and silver bag. Yeah, exactly. So you were on the 86 too, so it was horse and jockey, wasn't it? Now, yeah, the colour combos was either burgundy, wasn't it? A burgundy with a stripe, or a blue and silver, like that, yeah. And the most sought after was the blue and silver stripe. And I had, like I say, 58. The numbers never left my head, because it's one of those really sort of visceral memories. You really remember these things, don't you? And at the time, we were living at Red Hill Common, Red Hill Drive still, just near Winton. We hadn't moved. We moved to Talbot Woods, Roslyn Road South, that last year, sort of 15, 16, as Homefield was ending. So I was still dead lucky living on Red Hill Drive. To this day, it's a very pleasant, area, property. And obviously Talbot Woods was gorgeous, and still is. God, I'd give my right arm now to rent a room there. And I, knowing that I was going to be dobbed in, I took my 58 badges back on the school bus, and I promptly buried them, and I mean buried them, all over Red Hill Common, on my neon orange GT Pro Performer BMX bike, literally under those trees at Red Hill Common, because obviously I lived opposite it. Buried the lot, mate, buried them all. Knowing I was for the high jump the following day, because I just got a whiff on that 86 bus that, what was that bloody prefect? God, he was a do-gooder. Well, they were all, didn't they? What was he called? Anyway, a prefect dobbed me in, and Tony Partridge, they called the old bill. and I was, summarily taken to that front office of the headmaster, and I never forget. I had my Walkman on, and this is again one of those crazy memories. Knowing I was in trouble. I mean, just knowing it, and there was already the police. You could see the police. I think they were driving Rovers in those days, weren't they? But the police car was outside, and I knew they'd call the police. And I thought, gee, you're in. And I remember that awful feeling of the stomach, that churning, like, oh my God, you're in real trouble. And long story short, I had my headphones in, listening to "I'm on Fire" by Bruce Springsteen, because right, crazy. And Tony Partridge calls me in. It's now getting on for like 3:30, 4 o'clock. Um, it's like all the buses have gone. So I knew he'd either A, called my parents, or B, was going to drive me home, because I just thought, I'm actually stranded. It's now, I'll just sit in the car park, that front bay window of Tony Partridge's, cavernous, Oval Office. Wasn't it? It was very regal, wasn't it? It had these big sort of curtains and drapes. Remember that? Again, it was a lot of this sort of ostentatious. A lot of it was very performative, wasn't it? Us day boys and anyway. So sweating, shitting myself. Police are there. One female officer sat cross-legged, and one sort of, well, a bloke officer stood, and I went in there, and they just looked at me and went, "Remain standing." They didn't say sit down, didn't say anything, and I stood there like this, and they read in the riot act, and they said, "Look, we know what you've done. We know you've got a load. Where are they?" And I said, "They've gone, they've gone." And I remember standing on the spot, nearly wetting myself, because I was told there and then to disclose where I'd put them. I said, "They've gone, sir, they've gone." I said, "I threw them away." I was very sort of nebulous. I said, "I threw them away." And they knew where I lived. I just said that they've gone, I've gone. And I remember saying something really, really believable, but knowing it was hogwash. And I said, "Look, I've literally thrown them into various bins and various skips, and just that, I was very non-specific about where I put them." So I did admit it, because there were multiple witnesses on the bus that had seen my 58 badges. I was suspended for 2 weeks. So they were talking about expulsion, but I was suspended for a fortnight, and based on that, it was then proposed to my parents that Justin, talking about myself in the third person, only attend the remainder of the school year, which was like 8 months, 9 months, on a Tuesday and a Thursday. And I started working with my father on the Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and that's how I started to work in the auction. I don't know why I'm smiling, because I'm not proud of it, but I started to work as a porter in the auction room, with all the antiques and stuff, which the firm is still there today. I'm on paper a company director, but yeah, crazy, crazy. I just remember the sort of the language of I'm going to just say to anyone else, when I say Mr. Partridge, it's our headmaster at our old school. We are talking over 3 decades ago now, and they're probably all dead, aren't they? And it's like the Third Reich; they're all gone. And yeah, I just remember being gleeful. I mean, to me, it was a victory. Once I'd gone through that fear of being, like just getting done, getting held, just banged to rights. Yeah, the final year was Justin's going to come into school, basically on alternate days, which was a 2-day school week, and they felt it was adequate that I would just about get through a few GCSEs on a. They spoke to my teachers, who said that I was good. The things I was good at, in other words, I was good at English and I was good at art. I was disinterested. I was not interested in anything else, and therefore wouldn't apply myself. Didn't apply myself, and subsequently had shit grades. If you don't apply yourself, whether you're good at it or not, if you don't apply yourself, you won't actually do well. And I remember, being commended on my art and English, but that was it. I was just simply not interested in anything else, and therefore I think I sat about 4 GCSEs. Didn't even sit math. Trouser hems catching his heels. Oh my God. Oh my God. So true. So true. Jesus. Some of the rules, you had to have four eyelets on the shoes. You couldn't have three eyelets or less. No slip-ons, no white socks, and tapered in trousers. I remember if your trousers were tapered into 13 inches or less, because drain pipes were all the rage, weren't they? Big sort of baggy pleated, pleated with drain pipes and ideally turn-ups, and I had a rat tail. I had a rat tail. If your hair touched your collar, that was also, wasn't it? That was also not allowed. And no hair dye. So I put sun in my hair, because of course in those days I had lots of hair. So I went to Boots, and of course, good old sun in. Um, Everything that was not allowed, you'd sort of do. Hair above your collar. Exactly, exactly. I mean, because of course in those days a mullet was acceptable. A mullet was cool. And if it wasn't a mullet, a rat tail. And I went through both. Oh, and also you couldn't you couldn't do a tight tie. You had to have enough sort of fatness in your tie. So nothing was allowed to, because of course that era was still the new romantics, wasn't it? It was still a bit, Duran Duran. I mean, I was very much Simple Minds. For me, I thought I was bloody, Jim Kerr off Simple Minds, or Le Bon off Duran. I was very sort of into that. Um, yeah, real big Simple Minds fan. The Breakfast Club, right? Everything's like that. So, gosh, just, but I never forget going and feeling for, it might have even been 10 months. It was it was certainly more than half a year. It wasn't like you're 3 months and you're leaving. It was certainly probably 60 to 70% actually of that last year. And I remember just feeling so mature, I felt so grown up. The reality was I'd effectively been booted out of school, swerving the expulsion, served my canings and served my 2 week suspension. Um, but the attitude and the only leniency on me was because father voluntarily was on their, parents, teachers, whatever board of governors, and because dad was very much into fairness. He's very much very fair, and it's wrong that they're, dad was very much like that. I miss dad terribly actually. Um, yeah, he was an incredibly fair man, was dad. He was very just. That's not right. That's wrong. He was really straight. He was a real straight edge guy. Like pay the tax man on time. Just really super strict, super straight. Not strict, but just very, very, very proper. And so yeah, once he realised that the school were on the take, he was like, no, and it ended up actually he didn't even need to whistle blow. It ended up going straight in the Bournemouth Echo. Someone whistle blew. Someone put him in there. Years after I left, I remember that they all got done for it. But anyway, I was off the last year, and Tuesdays and Thursdays were my attendance days, which was enough to sort of just about get me through some GCSEs. As you know, 88, we all took the first year of general certificate of secondary education. Um, and this was in the days when an A level was hard to get. No worries, dude. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Yeah, this was in the days when A levels were hard to get. It was nowadays, no disrespect, but when kids, sorry, I shouldn't say it, when young people say I've got an A level, it doesn't carry as much weight as it did 20, 30 years ago. When if you had one or two or even three A levels, you're hot shit. You're really hot shit. I've got to sort this light. I'm not happy with this light tonight at all. I need to. I've repositioned my light a bit. I've been doing some last minute adjustments with these cameras. Meh. Anyway, yeah, it's interesting just waffling about the old school stuff. Where's my little control? Yeah, that light's awful, and I need to change. It's too. Hold on. It's a bit. No, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the idea is I want to light one side of my face, but I mean, you can. I don't know. It's all a bit. Anyway, so look, I actually titled tonight Fear Factory. Here's the thing. Look, I'll talk about this for about 10 minutes. I'm going to leave it because the problem is my sort of default dialogue, just doing these. God, I really need to work on that light. That's really bugging me now. Um, Sorry, guys. I'm just a bit all there or all there. Too shiny. Oh well. Oh well. That'll do. I just want to get. I don't want it flat. Speaking of, some interesting tests with the 13 Pro Max, which of course I have. And I mean, at the moment, the current trifecta, let's call it the trifecta, the current trifecta, top three flagships called Sammy Goog Apple. As of Thursday, I'll have the Pixel 6 Pro to join it, but my 13 Pro Max and S21 Ultra. Fair play to the S21 Ultra because the imminent S22 Ultra is a couple of months away. We'll see it in late December, stroke first fortnight of Jan. Renders for S22 Ultra look stunning. You got individual, which this is kind of a big thing. You've got individual drilled holes for each lens in the back plate, which is a good move. It's a good move because it's the sort of thing that we haven't seen really since, say, P30 Pro, but probably iPhone 4, where you literally had the, rather than having a camera cutout, you have lens cutouts. This is aesthetically a nicer thing. So, and yes, in the chassis, they'll be reinstalling the S Pen, which of course has been, what's the word, conspicuously absent this year from the lack of Note 21 Ultra. Any Samsung fans out there will observe last year you had the Note 20 Ultra, then of course my S21 Ultra, and they bypassed the Note 21 Ultra because it's really been using the integration of the popular S Pen, which of course is housed in the chassis of a Note 20 Ultra, but isn't in the chassis of my S21 Ultra, but is compatible with. The move is because they, as in Samsung, couldn't justify saying, here's our Note 20 Ultra and here's our slightly better S21 Ultra, but let's put in a Note 21 Ultra as well, which would have been a Rizzler paper off the Note 20 Ultra and about on par with my S21 Ultra. So they pushed the S series this year and are going to make just the Ultra essentially next year's Note. So for any appreciators of the S Galaxy line and the S Note line, well, Galaxy Note and Galaxy S, isn't it? You're going to be looking at a new S22 Ultra coming, obviously, and it's going to have all the benefits of previous Notes with the sort of design language of the S series now. So a very, 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 very smart looking phone with the S Pen internal as opposed to being external, which is where it should be. One of the things that Sammy cocked up on this year was to start launching their own silicon cases with the extra bit, making it even wider to accommodate the S Pen. And when I talk about the S Pen, for those that don't know, it's the equivalent smaller version of an Apple Pen here. Okay, I use that on my iPad Pro. So I'm just getting to grips with it now. Even more, it's a fantastic thing. Anyway, so certainly for a while I will be doing testing and shots with that little trifecta of the 13 Pro Max, S21 Ultra, and of course the Pixel 6 Pro, which is about, well, apparently it's landing with me this Thursday. So I'm incredibly excited about that. Fear Factory, really the perpetual pump. What I mean by that is the cyclical nature of the news. The reason why it doesn't matter, what was that squeak leaving my mouth? The the news cycle. I months and months ago, I was talking about the difference between a publisher and a platform, and the sort of utilitarian boast, or should I say, the claim to be a utilitarian platform from the likes of Facebook and Insta and Twitter. And of course, we know they're not. They're not. They're patently political publishers. The evidence is so overwhelming. You don't need a so-called Facebook Francis Hagen whistleblower, predator looky likey. You just need to know that the it's not just the algorithm. There's questioning today with Ted Cruz in Congress with the head of TikTok, or certainly the representative. It's a mess. You got I think we're on the cusp of not necessarily a hot war, but certainly a civilized divorce, whereby this lot of the country, they want to be blue. I'm talking about America, of course. Let them be blue, because their attitude is one of snobbery. Let them eat cake. It's very much like that. I'd like to say to Jen Psaki, give out the cake, because it's akin to, hey Google, who said let them eat cake?
Marie Antoinette. Here's a summary from the website Britannica.com. Let them eat cake is the most famous quote attributed to Marie Antoinette, the Queen of France during the French Revolution. People also sometimes ask me, did Marie Antoinette actually say? Do you want to hear the answer?
Yes.
Politics is so complicated, but I can search. What would you like to know?
Jen Psaki lying. Joe Biden alive? Hey Google, why can't I trust political leaders?
I don't know, but I found these results on search.
Okay, you get the point. Right, feeling tired. Feeling tired. Oh, this happens. It's I've noticed a pattern, actually. I do about 30, 40 minutes of yappity yap. And then it's like, oh, I don't know, it's weird. I was watching one of my favourite Twitch streamers last night, a guy called Stephen Bonnell, but his sort of public name is Destiny. Extremely popular Twitch streamer, and don't know. I need to Twitch. I think in Twitch. I don't know. I need to. But look, just I mean, I typical me, isn't it? I titled it Fear Factory and went off about my school. So look, the fear fact. The reason I mention about the technocracy, of course, I'm talking the usual suspect of social media, Goliath, and the reason it's it's a stranglehold, isn't it? It's literally like we like the boot. You get what I'm saying, don't you? When I say we like the boot, it's it's concerning. It's concerning how many so-called liberals and so-called lefties and so-called anyone, forget what your political affiliation is. If you're so content with massive government, big physical government overreach, it's like these new, whether it's the COVID vaccine, or the fact that just I don't know. It's look at me getting tired. God, I'm getting tired. The cyclical nature of the news. I can't even be clever and say, well, it's juxtaposition with this good piece of. No, it's not good news. There is no good news. The difference now, the hair's breadth of difference between a hot war and a cold war is probably, I don't know if it's the China. Well, I don't know. I'm not qualified. All I know is that it's hairy. It's hairy. I don't mean that in the literal sense. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I don't know what's going on. But I do know that the fuel going into media is it's the fuel going in to give the mainstream. I'm talking about the legacy media here. The legacy media, the mainstream media, they're vampiric. Yes, they're vampiric. Their lifeblood is literally. I don't know. It's just. Yeah, it ain't good. Right, I'm nodding off on camera. I hate it when this happens. But I do, when I'm approaching 9 o'clock each night, I get just done in. Weird. Well, it's gone 9, isn't it? Anyway, look, I'm gonna go. I'm not amazingly pleased with this light here. I do have my little remote control to change the, if I can find the darn thing. What have I done with that? I had it when I was tired, because I'm literally doing some woodwork today. I've got a little to the left of me off camera here. It's like a little, sort of Corinthian, like a plinth, sort of 30 inches in height. You can sit on it, but I'm using it for my speaker for the interface. The interface between the microphone and, of course, my little Bluetooth pill speaker there. I don't think it's that significant with what it does to the mic, but it's off the table anyway. I'm trying to keep a clearer table. Yeah, I don't know. Look, that light is ghastly, isn't it? How about just there? Yeah. Because if I have it at me, it's like, bam! It's just too much, isn't it? That's too much. That's better. That's actually better like that, just turned away. I don't know. Right, guys, I'm going to go. Jamie, nice to see you, sir. Nin, love you. And I'm going to go. I'm back tomorrow night with episode 433. Was it 432 tonight? It was, wasn't it? 432. Okay, so episode 433 tomorrow night, 9 o'clock onwards. I will just try. And I have been Justin House. Thank you for listening to my waffle, and it's all appreciated. As just tired, right, talking to the camera with the eyes closed, not a good way to finish a stream. All right, guys, back tomorrow night, same time, same place, same bloody face. Cheers.